So peaceful here. Mountains, sun. It's warm actually. It's kind of warm today. Cold wind, but the wind's kind of calmed down right now. Really steep drop down there. A lot of, it's really deep, you know, really far down. I wonder how many non-subscribers I could fit down there. Quite a few, I'm guessing. Don't be silly. I never bring you to the spot I really put people down. I mean, that would be stupid.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about back training and a secret to training back that a lot of people misunderstand. Because when I'm doing bent over rows or I'm doing lat pull downs or whatever, there's always somebody that says, hey, your upper back should be perpendicular to the floor or whatever, right? And they totally disregard one part of a back exercise, which is the sternum up. Sternum up part of doing the retraction of those shoulder blades, right? So if I am bent over like this and then I stick the chest out and retract the shoulder blades, my upper back naturally curves like this. So even though my lower back is in the same position, my upper back is like this. So it's not me cheating in the back exercise, it's just that I am trying to recruit the most amount of back as possible. So what a lot of beginners do, or amateurs, is that they will stay in a certain position, they don't retract the shoulder blades, and they don't stick the chest out. They do not bring that sternum up, right? So they stay like this, and then what they do is they end up rotating around the shoulder joint and using the rear delts and the biceps more for their back movements than the back itself. Now, how do I know this? Well, back in the day, okay, sorry, I just got to interrupt there for just 1 second. No pun intended. No pun intended. Back in the day. We're talking about training back. All right, carry on. Back in the day when I was training in the gym, 18, 19 years old, I'd already been training for 5 years, and I was not developing a back. I was noticing my rear delts were getting big, my biceps were getting big, but my back was just not developing. So even when I was training back, I was noticing I'm not feeling my back. So slowly but surely, I started to try to get a feeling for how do I contract my back? Like, when do I feel my back, when don't I? And I started to notice that sticking that chest out and working in an arcing type motion around the shoulder joint worked best for recruiting that back. Now, the mistake that a lot of people make, especially when they're beginners or they've only been training a few years, is they look at the bar when they're doing lat pull downs. Let's use lat pull downs as an example. What beginners will do is they'll look at the bar when they're doing a lat pull down, and they'll look at how far the bar comes down and use that as a gauge of whether they're doing the exercise right or not, because the bar should go from point A to point B. But they're not looking at how they get the bar to these two locations. They're not looking at that. And that's the difference of whether you recruit some muscle groups or no muscle groups or other muscle groups, right? It's not about destination as it is about how you do it. What position is your body in as you perform this exercise? So when you're doing a lat pull down, you'll notice that when you stick the chest up as you're pulling down, you're going to be retracting those shoulder blades and actually retracting all the muscles that are part of the back, the rhomboids, the traps, and you will basically be keeping your biceps out of the motion quite a bit, and you'll also notice that it will be much harder for you to come all the way down, especially if you have any lat development, because guess what? Your triceps now hitting your lat as it's flexing, right? So it's not like you have this movement where you can just pass through your own back. So that's the other thing. If you have lats, you're not going to be able to come down all the way and touch your chest in a lot of cases, unless of course you're a little bit of a taller person or you have different dimensions, because again, that's also a factor. But it's not about the bar being in one position. It's more about where is my chest in this position. And you'll notice over time, it's not as much about where the arms are as it is the position of your back, the position of your chest. Where is that? And as you protract and then retract, protract and then retract, you're noticing that there's this breathing going on with the shoulder blades. That's more important when it comes down to recruiting back than just the arm positions or where are the arms in the exercise. So I'm not saying the arms don't play a role. Of course they play a role when it comes down to recruiting the lats, but they are one part of the overall picture when it comes to training back. And I find that most people totally disregard the torso part of the back movements, which is why they have trouble getting back development. So yeah, if you're doing a back movement and you're doing a lat pull down or you're doing a chin up, focus on retracting those shoulder blades and bringing the sternum up. You'll notice that you won't be one of those chin up people where you're bringing the chin above the bar, because that's not about retracting. That's about this, and then you have to round your upper back in order to bring your chin above the bar. That is a different movement than doing back. That will be a pull up, but it's more about recruiting rear delts, sometimes your internal rotator cuff, which can irritate your shoulder joint. So if you are getting shoulder issues and you're the type of person that has to do the chin up all the way over the top or extend at the bottom and just hang on your arms or hang on your elbows, you may notice that you're having some joint issues from this. So if you are getting elbow issues or shoulder issues, this might be something that you're doing wrong. So anyway, check that out. But my main point is that pay attention to your scapula. Pay attention to what you're doing there. Pay attention of whether you're sticking that chest out or not as you're contracting those lats. And if you are, you will notice that you'll get a lot more back development and a lot more back recruitment from it. So I hope this helps you in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.